I remember like it was yesterday. The panic, the hysteria, and then the acceptance. Acceptance that Earth was going to be destroyed, and our only grim consolation was that there was nothing we could do to stop it. The neutron star collided, and millions of years of our history got wiped out in an instant. That's why they developed the Rebirth Project. Everyone on Earth fighting for survival, and a lottery among the fittest to see who gets to live thousands of light years away. I won, and that's why I'm here on this Ark ship. I'm a pioneer, one of millions, and our job will be to rebuild civilization in this new solar system. I've been frozen for the entirety of the trip, and now I'm ready to embark on my journey. Our journey.
Hello and welcome to Dual Universe. So I have gone past the tutorial. For those who want to play the game, there is a initial tutorial that is quite extensive, to say the least. It'll take you quite some time to get through the tutorial, and eventually you will end up here on a moon around a planet. I'm on this sanctuary moon here, and these planets are huge, absolutely huge. I have claimed a piece of land by here. This is my land. You're not allowed to come on my land. Get off my land. And if I press V, you can see the extent of my current piece of land. I've got quite a nice piece of land. This is my speeder. I can get on my speeder. I can fly around a bit, do my own thing. I don't want to go anywhere right now, just showing you I can get on my speeder. Now, straight away, the most common game I think that you would put this to is basically Space Engineers, the MMO. That's what I like to refer this as, because this is Space Engineers, as far as I'm concerned. I know it's probably not what the developer might want to call it. But see this ship here, this little speeder? You can put it together from lots of little voxels. Each little piece is like a component. So this is a hover element. There's another hover element. There are thruster elements. There's your main fuel source element. There's your little control elements. There's your seat element. And you build your own ships, including massive spaceships that can go into space and battle everybody else and do all kinds of crazy things. You can literally have massive fleets of people fighting in space, just like Eve and all the rest of it, but voxel based. Everything is voxel based. And just like Space Engineers, you can dig holes in the ground. I have got one here somewhere. I got that with my jetpack going, yeah. Where you can start going down and mining for better resources. I can mine these little resources that are on the surface. Like so. On my ground, it's my territory. My resources, go away. So I can mine some resources. This bit of terrain here that looks like a mess, it's because I'm actually terraforming it to be level. So I can do that. I can terraform the land around me to have it how I want. And I'm trying to create a nice flat piece of land and put down some kind of base. But to create a base, there is a massive crafting system. As you can imagine, if you can imagine this is Space Engineers, the extent of stuff you will need for an MMO, not just like a little area, is crazy. The amount of things that I can craft I mean, it is just nuts. I mean, furniture and appliances and different types of decorative elements, different type of windows. I mean, it really is just like, let's not, it just goes on and on and on. No matter where I click, there's like menus and menus and menus of goods. I'm currently having a background process going in my my little production element that I carry with me. I can do a little bit of crafting on the go before I have to start thinking about putting down decent size, oh excuse me, decent size factories and, you know, refining processes, big scale stuff. I can do a little bit in my backpack to start with. So what I'm doing is I'm picking up some of this stuff off the ground that you will get when you eventually finish the tutorial, fly to a spot on the moon and claim it as your own. You can start picking up this stuff. Now it does say, oh, you can go and, you know, go to a nearby market and sell this stuff, but I'm not interested in selling my stuff for now. I just want to make my own little base. So I'm picking up all these bits and pieces and I'm processing them in my backpack. So as you can see, it's stuck now. It's waiting for me to get more resources. But I have got enough to bring that one to the top. I might have enough to bring one of these to the top. Once I've kind of processed all this stuff and I can finally get to that bottom one here, I should be able to create a static core unit. Now, you will have to excuse me. I've been doing lots and lots of streaming and stuff online recently, so yeah, oof, it's taking it out of my voice, but I'm hoping you're going to enjoy seeing this. So when I get that final core unit, that will be the initial building block that I need to put down to make my base, my structure. So yeah, I'm quite happily mining. Now, let's go to the next thing in this game that is extremely extensive. A little bit like Eve now, and that is the skill system. Let's bring up the skills. Talents. Here we go. Wow, there are just crazy amounts of talents in this game. So I'm currently generating 90 points per minute. This is what I've currently got on the research queue. If I run out of stuff in the research queue and say I haven't logged in for a while, that will drop to about 6 points per minute, but it'll still continue to generate me spare talent points. So I'll end up with a big pool of talent points if I don't log in for a while. So that's pretty cool. Now, I'm currently training in stuff here, and I can add to this queue, and you can see how long it's going to take to do each one. There's an expensive one I've picked at the end there, a nice big 3-hour one. Ideally, like Eve, you want to be looking at getting yourself something nice and juicy, you know, a good 10 or 12-hour one, wherever it's going to be at the end of your queue, so when you wake up the next day, you've got like a real big nice one done. Now, let's just show you just how crazily the talent pool is. At the top of here, you have ammo, crafting, elements, industry, mining and inventory, piloting, radar, and weapons. Each one of those has a massive tree, and inside each of these trees are loads of things. Now, each one of these has 5 tiers. And some of these tiers are locked behind other tiers. So for example, small railgun actions requires tier 2 in extra small railgun actions, which is up here. This one here is going to require tier 1 in... Oh, I can do that one. So this one here, I could do Q talent, and it would start queuing here. Yeah, so everything has... There's just so much to train. I mean, just crazy amounts to train. At the moment, I'm focusing on a little bit of mining and inventory management because, well, that's what I'm currently doing. It makes sense to make what I'm currently doing more efficient. Ideally, I also want to try and think about doing some industry, if that's what I'm going to be doing next. Producing things. Now, I'm thinking about... And obviously, you can all do your own thing, you know, or you want to just, you know, join into a large clan that's got all their stuff set up and all those things. But I'm thinking, well, if I fly off into space... Well, first of all, I need to create myself a spaceship. If I fly off into space and then get destroyed, I will lose my spaceship. So just like Eve, everything is lost. Your character and your training is not. So you don't have to do the whole clone thing and insurance on your clone points. But all of your equipment is. So mining and selling on the marketplaces is going to be a big thing. Especially when there's wars around. So, yet again, I'm referring back to something like Eve that has a player-driven market. Whenever there's a war around and people are losing masses of ships in big battles over space stations and all sorts of stuff they've got going on, then it's the miners and the industry people that really make a huge amount of money during a war. Because big corporations will just turn up and buy all the stuff they need. There's no point sitting there and mining in the middle of a war. You just want to buy new ships, or you want to just buy the components to make your ship straight away. Just get on with it and get things done. So I'm thinking, first off, what I'll do is, rather than relying on buying everything, create my own little cottage industry. Get myself a little spaceship. If I go up there and it gets destroyed, okay, I can make another one. That is very inefficient. Sometimes it's probably a lot easier in these games just to go off and make money. And then just buy the thing you want with the money rather than investing in that huge logistics chain. But that's fine. This is what I'm going to be doing. So, over the next couple of episodes, I am going to show you me building a house, or building some kind of base, trying to set up some kind of manufacturing, and building a spaceship, hopefully. Something to get me out there in the universe, but there's so much to be doing. Crazy amounts to be doing. I think even building my first little speeder on my own could be a challenge to make all the components, to not make one of these template blueprint ones that you get given when you start, but to actually make my own custom one. That could be pretty cool. Pretty cool. So I will push onwards and show you what I'm going to be hopefully making soon. Bye. Hello, I am back. So I've made my core. I can't place it. Why can't I place it? Well, I can't place it because I haven't trained in the appropriate skills. So let me just show you in my inventory. So there it is. It's locked out. And if you're going to attempt to do the same thing, then I suggest you train in mining and inventory architect. So let me just minimize these other things. So architect, then static core expertise, and then you need static core 2 to allow you to place static core units, which is what you need for buildings. So there you go. I've got like 20 odd minutes to wait. Ah, so almost there. I can almost place my building, but not quite. Or at least the start of my building. I think I have to flatten a huge area. So there you go. This game is still in beta. I will put a link to purchase the game in the comments. I don't know if it's the beta is open for general sale yet, but I'll put the link there anyway. If you want to try this game out and buy the game, then if you use my link, I actually do get support for the channel from that, so that's very nice. There's a roadmap on the beta, which includes things like much better graphics and all kinds of things on the way. This is, by the looks of it, a pretty seriously cool MMO. You'll see when you jump into the world, it's huge. It really is huge and crazy. And as I said, it's basically, as far as I'm concerned, Space Engineers in Space, MMO. Space Engineers MMO, and it is crazy large. And I think I'm going to have lots of fun with this. Making my own super spaceships and whatever, and getting out there in space and joining in with various factions and going to war and getting up to some crazy stuff. So I'm going to keep doing this series for a little while and seeing what I can build. Until then, I will see you all next time. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and all the rest of it. Hit the bell if you don't want to miss another episode of this. And thank you very much, everybody, and good night.